brilliant.
And yes, welcome. It's a wonderful day today. Wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Welcome to Prime Sports. My name is Austin Osorens, and this is where sports lives. Amazing, amazing highlights. And in case you're wondering what highlights you just watched, we watched some top goals from the UEFA Super Cup, which is happening later today. And of course, joining me today to talk sports, the UEFA Cup finals, and a whole lot more is none other than my co-host, co-pilot from the south side of Nigeria, bobbing his head to my rap. None other than the guy whose name was so good, they named him twice, a.k.a. Dixon Umwetu Bashali of Lagos. This is a new one. No?
I wanted to do so, but I just do that. I can't
You do so and fall down from this shit.
If I do so, good viewers, good morning, Pastor.
I like this new one.
Yeah, I feel excited. You know, when you showed the Super Cup, I was just looking at. I was looking at some clubs. Have they not scored goals in Super Cup before? I was looking at some clubs. Like, have they played Super Cup?
This thing
Have they played Super Cup?
It came with bazooka today.
Why not see some jerseys? Super Cup? Why? No, now. Why are you not playing Super Cup? You've not played Super Cup before? Why? So I was looking for some goals from certain clubs. Unfortunately,
You didn't see.
I didn't see. Pastor,
Can you be said to be great? Let me do it this way. Please, close up. I want close up. Can you be said to be great if you've not played at certain levels?
Something.
Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Catch yourself.
If you have maybe some standing fan or rechargeable fan, you will see low, medium, and high. You understand? So some people are medium.
There's levels. There's always levels to everything.
There's level. But this just me, just entertainment purposes. Nothing serious. So I didn't mention any club. Nothing serious. This is just entertainment.
Welcome to the program today, and of course today is the Super Cup finals, the UEFA Super Cup finals between PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, who won the Champions League last season, having beat a certain other English team, and
I just think, don't go through the code. There was a final.
There was a final in the Champions League where PSG beat Arsenal and are now champions, back-to-back champions. The million-dollar question is, can they actually go ahead and do a three-peat and equal Real Madrid's record? But that later on when the Champions League starts. Anyways, they play Aston Villa, and English teams won the other European trophies, right?
Yes.
Except the big one.
Actually, if you roll back the hands of time a little bit, there were 3 English teams in the finals. We had Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. They were representing English teams in the Conference League, Europa League, and the Champions League. 2 of them won the finals. Only Arsenal penalty shootouts. We all know the story. How Gabriel's ball is still in orbit, outer space. Maybe one day when the rain falls heavily to bring the ball back. But what happened, and PSG made themselves qualify for the Champions League. And again, they like you said, who is going to trip? Are they going to trip it? See, who's going to beat this PSG team? People say Maresca is not in City. Maybe the only reason why PSG won the Champions League because Maresca did not feature in the later stages. I don't know, but if you look at history now with trophies they've won, the only major tournament they've not won was that World Club Cup where Maresca beat them 3-0 with Chelsea. But we always ask this question. The transfer market has opened. I know we're going to touch on it. How do you improve this PSG team? Who do you go to sign? I know they are looking for a striker in Fantones, but did they really need him? Because back-to-back Champions League, they've won all. They don't even go to the League One. Last Super Cup, they won Tottenham.
Yes.
I think they came from 2 goals down.
Tottenham was leading 2-0 at 80-something minutes.
They came from 2 goals down, won it by penalty shootout. So this is another English team. This is another English team they are meeting in the Super Cup final. Guess what? Aside that 3-0 defeat from Chelsea, in the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons, PSG have taken down all English teams. Mention them. Who has? Is it Liverpool? The 2 Champions League, they've nominated them. Arsenal, the two seasons, one in the final, one in the semi-finals.
Semi-finals.
Chelsea last season, it showed.
Destroyed Chelsea.
It was destroyed. I don't even
aggregate.
If you watch Voltron, the way they did Chelsea, you can't. In short, our coach then was just praying.
Clueless.
He was praying the match would just end in the first half. So this is I don't know. Is it that another another English club in Aston Villa is going to take the sword? And that's the big question. People don't see Aston Villa going to do any magic in this final. They just say, you know what, PSG to win, which also is which also brings a discussion of Luis Enrique. He's doing that greatness of Pep Guardiola, and his own is a little special in the sense that this is PSG, a team in France, maybe not a team in England. I know that there are world-class players there and all that, but hello, it's France.
I like to keep my options open because a lot of people will be like, oh, towing the same line with you, thinking, oh, the greatness of PSG and all the kind of things they achieved. But let's not forget that both teams actually had several of their players play at the World Cup. Will World Cup fatigue affect both teams? We saw quite a bit of the PSG, not quite a number of the PSG players
that got to the latter stages of the World Cup. They're just resuming.
Same thing with the Aston Villa side. Their goalkeeper, Emi Martinez,
just
arrived. Watkins. They have certain other players. Is Watkins still with them?
Yes, Watkins
is still with them.
They sold Rogers.
Yes, they sold Morgan Rogers. So, but key players from both sides played at the World Cup. So, will fatigue setting? I think that will be the game changer. That will be the major dynamic because eventually, at the end of the day, the first Champions League win PSG had, if I'm not mistaken, the second leg they played Aston Villa. Aston Villa actually did win them, but it wasn't enough because PSG had done the damage in the first leg.
Yes.
So I'm thinking this Aston Villa side, full of surprises, and for that reason, I'm giving it to Aston Villa today. Well, I know that everybody thinks PSG will just run them over, but PSG, having watched how some of their key players played at the World Cup, Nuno Mendes was blunt and ineffective at the World Cup. Vitinha, João Neves. Yes, I know that people like Kvaratskhelia are well rested because they were not at the World Cup.
Yes, I can put Marquinhos into that. His pairing with Gabriel at the World Cup with Brazil was suspect. They didn't just...
Yeah, they didn't turn up. A lot of their players didn't turn up. A few did. Doué was fantastic for France.
Bakola
was fantastic for France, to be honest. Some of those players were key. But the engine of the team, that midfield of theirs, was off pace at this just concluded World Cup. Except we are going to say club is different from country, even though we know that club football is different from national team football. So, but I'm going to use your most recent form as a player. And if it's on that note, they weren't so impressive to give that continuation. Even the Champions League that they won on penalties. Penalties is anybody's game. That's the truth. Chelsea lost their first penalty finals to Manchester United. They could have won it if John Terry had scored.
Yes.
But Man United fans will tell you, that's your business. You lost, we won. It's the same thing. Arsenal could have won the Champions League if they won the penalty shootout. But PSG, they dominated most of the time. But apart from the goal they equalized with. So I'm just saying that maybe they are not all that invincible like we portray them to be.
When you talk about being invincible, it's ability to squeeze results and to come big when the chips are down. When you just think that, you know what, maybe there is no way, but you just find a way. And that's what differentiates you from being the great and just a very good player. or a
Yes,
very, very good
yes.
club. That's what PSG, from few matches now, have been able to tell us that, you know what, we might just be at that level of one of the greatest teams to play. Let's not forget that I know a lot of people talk about the Super Cup to be almost a pre-season, right? Teams, they use that also to get form back, minutes and all that. We saw this same thing happen to Tottenham. They were just 2 goals down before they could say anything. But what did they do? They found a way.
Yeah.
They equalized almost the last minute, the last kick of the ball, and they found a way. And that's what the good teams do. But again, you have, like I said, I can't shy away from your own, predictions saying that Aston Villa might win. Let's not forget that it's not just Aston Villa. We have a coach that is very good at knockout game.
Absolutely.
One-off games like that, like this, in Emery. So Unai Emery. So he's good at that. They are both Spanish. They might know themselves and cancel that each other very well. With the physicality and pace of the English Premiership, which characteristic that Aston Villa will bring, or the flair of Enrique, which has brought that tiki-taka Barcelona style into this PSG team. Control the game. You saw the possession 75-25 for Arsenal versus PSG. They will control the game. There's nothing you can. That's how Enrique plays. He has said that he will not change his style of play, and that's his identity. They're going to control the game. But will Aston Villa take their chances when it matters? So it's something for us to enjoy neutrals, enjoy and see. PSG goes there and blow this Aston Villa side away. A lot of questions will be asked. Can they trip it? Just like you said. Can they do what only Real Madrid has done? And if Luis Enrique take this PSG team to trip it, there's no way. Nobody's telling me anything that you won't put Enrique in that bracket. No way you won't put this PSG team in that in question. That Barca team, they said, probably one of the best assembled club players that have played football. They didn't even trip it. The Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, Luis Suarez, Messi, Neymar. They didn't trip it.
They only just won.
They just won one Champions League. And
was it too much hype though?
They play good football, you have to say.
But
eye
test is good football. It's just one.
Big question.
It's just one. The same coach that did that has done it now twice. But they still rate that higher than this.
If you put the players side by side, I just think that if you put this PSG team that have won 2, might likely win the 3rd one with this Barca team. If you bring a football analyst and said, pick from the goalkeeper to the striker, which team, like we want to make an overall combined team.
Are they going to bench anybody from that Barca side?
Are they going to bench anybody from that Barca side?
Yes, I understand you, but you know what? At the end of the day, the goal is still the goal. The result is still the result. You have 1 Champions League, they have 2. Let's not forget that was the peak.
This is a huge question.
That was the peak period. You know, you are the one that likes to do this eye testing, throwing it back and doing the eye testing. But I always like to see football fully. I will never forget the Nigeria case. It will always be at the back of my mind. So I cannot trust any Barca success. And that year falls inside the period in question for the Nigeria case. So I cannot look away from it. The way people cannot look away from City's 115 charges, Chelsea's own charges, I cannot look away from the Nigeria case. Sorry.
But you are not...
The players were brilliant, but the referees were the 13th player, the 12th player they had.
But they will tell you they've not been found guilty yet.
Yeah, it's the same way City is not guilty yet. But nobody rates their success in the EPL.